Welcome. In this video, we shall look at how to use the Power Pivot for data modeling. Data modeling is, just as the name implies, is a way to connect two or more data sets that are interrelated together in order to create insight and to be able to come up with a kind of insight that will support decision making and also help to solve problems at any point in time. So we have a sales data. It is a sample data set. We have the sales data. We also have another table which shows the return of some of the order being made, and we also have the salesperson in charge of the regions in this data set. So we have been able to put each of these into, we have the three tables, the main data set, the data set that talks about the return of some items, and the salesperson. So we're going to model each of these. The main data will be added to the model. So you click on the Power Pivot, you click on your data set, which is the first one, and you click on Add to Data Model. So you are going to see here how we are going to work on this data set and how we are going to interact and let them, have a kind of relationship that will give us the privilege to analyze the data better. So we have added the first, which is the main data, into the data label. So at the same time, we're going to put the second one, which is the returns. We're going to put it, we also add it to the data model. You can see now we have it. The main data is there, the return data is there, and also we're going to add the salesperson that are in charge of each region. We're going to add them to the data model. So we now have the three. So now we have the three data that have a similar connectivity, and from there we can now connect these together. So let's go to the diagram view. We have the data view, which is where we are now. We also have the diagram view. So let's move on to the diagram view. So at the diagram view, you can see what is embedded in each of these data sets, and you can see that there are some kind of a similar feature or a kind of similar labels in each of this table. So you can see the order ID here under the main data. Under the return data, also you can see the order ID. From the salesperson, we can see the region, and also under the main data, we have the region. That should be towards the end. Yes, it's here now. So this will give us a sense of connectivity between this data. So we can connect the order ID under the return. We can connect it to the order ID under the main data, and also we connect the region under the salesperson. We connect it to the region under the main data. So with this, we have been able to create a kind of connectivity in this data set. And you can see that if you are not interested in this, you can also remove it just by right clicking. You can see edit relationship. Now let's go back to the data view. with this, I think we can come up with a kind of a simple analysis whereby we can do with a kind of a pivot table. So let's look at the pivot table here. On a new worksheet. Let's put that on a new worksheet. And here you can see that we have the main data. We have the return as well. So if I should pick up the segment for the row, and I want to see what is happening in terms of the profits made, and the sales guys in charge of this. So what is the contribution of these sales guys? So you can see, if the data were not connected together, I wouldn't be able to get this result. You can now see the contribution of each of these sales guys to the total profit. So we can format this as usual. Number formatting, you put it in 1000 separator, and you have this value. So if we don't do the data modeling to connect this together, we are not going to have this kind of result. Furthermore, we can have more analysis. We can analyze more data. We can give this a name. We can do the necessary formatting there. So we go back to our pivot table, the one we are managing. Yep. We go on to the pivot table. Pivot table. This existing worksheet, we want it to be here. Yes, this same worksheet. Okay, I want it to be here. I'll press OK. Let me look at the main data and pick something that makes sense there. So let me see what is happening in terms of I can see category. So let me pick up the category, and I want to look at the sales made in each category, and of course I can look at the average sales, not necessarily be the sum. Yes, so I have this. I can see the average sales made in each of the category. So let me see how I can connect this to the sales. I mean, do I need to connect it with the salesperson? No. Let me check on the return. Yeah. So let me see what happens on each of this. So where there is a return, that is yes. Where there is no return, that is the blank. So you can see the average sales made when there is return and when there is no return.